She stays long after the red flags turned into deal breakers. She accepts the job offer that pays 20% less than her male counterpart. She apologizes for taking up space. She shrinks herself to make others comfortable. This isn't about weakness. This isn't about lack of intelligence or capability. This is about conditioning that taught her to accept less, expect less, and ask for less. And it's costing her everything. This is why some women walk away with less than they deserve. They were taught that being liked is more important than being respected. From childhood, the message is clear. Be nice, be agreeable, don't make waves. Boys are told to be strong, girls are told to be sweet. Boys who are assertive are called leaders. Girls who are assertive are called bossy. By the time she's an adult, she's internalized a simple equation. My value depends on how much people like me. So she doesn't ask. Or when she does, she softens it. I'm sorry to bother you, but I don't want to be difficult, but she frames her needs as inconveniences. She frames her boundaries as negotiations. She frames her worth as something that requires justification. The result? She walks into salary negotiations asking for 10% more when she deserves 30%. She stays in relationships where her emotional needs are optional. She accepts breadcrumbs and calls it compromise because she learned that being liked is survival and being respected is a luxury she can't afford. They confuse self-sacrifice with love. She gives and gives and gives, and when there's nothing left, she gives more. She cancels her plans to accommodate his schedule. She puts her career on hold to support his. She manages the household, the children, the emotional labor, the mental load of remembering everyone's needs except her own. And she calls it love. But self-sacrifice is not the same as love. Martyrdom is not intimacy. Relationships built on her constantly giving while others constantly take are not partnerships. They're extractions. Real love doesn't require one person to become smaller so the other can be bigger. She was taught that good women put everyone else first, that mothers sacrifice, that wives support, that the measure of her worth is how much she's willing to endure. So she endures. She gives until she's empty. And when she admits she's exhausted, she's told she's selfish, that love requires sacrifice, but the sacrifice only ever goes one direction. She walks away with less because asking for reciprocity, for balance, for her needs to matter as much as everyone else's feels like asking for too much. They were never taught to negotiate. Nobody teaches girls how to negotiate. They're taught to accept what's offered, to be grateful, to not rock the boat. Except that's not how the world works. Men negotiate their salaries 4 times more often than women. And when women do negotiate, they ask for less. They accept the first counteroffer. Why? Because negotiating feels uncomfortable, aggressive, ungrateful, so she accepts the offer. She doesn't counter. She doesn't research what others are making. She doesn't advocate for herself. Over a career, that reluctance costs her hundreds of thousands of dollars. Promotions, opportunities, leverage. She walks away with less because she was never taught that negotiation isn't greed. It's self-respect. They believe their worth is tied to their usefulness. She measures her value by what she does for others, how helpful she is, how needed she is. If she's not solving someone's problem, supporting someone's dream, making someone's life easier, then what's the point? This is the trap, the belief that her worth is transactional, that she has to earn the right to take up space by constantly proving her usefulness. So she overworks, she overfunctions, she becomes indispensable in everyone else's life and invisible in her own. She manages the logistics, she remembers the birthdays, she organizes everything, she anticipates needs, she makes herself essential. And then she wonders why people take her for granted, because when your worth is tied to your usefulness, people will use you. They will extract your labor, your energy, your time, and they will rarely reciprocate. They've normalized disrespect. She's been disrespected so many times in so many ways that she doesn't even recognize it anymore. The interruptions in meetings, the ideas she shares that get ignored until a man repeats them and gets credit, the way her time is treated as less valuable. It happens so consistently that it becomes background noise, just the way things are. So she doesn't make a fuss. She lets it slide. She tells herself it's not a big deal. And slowly, her tolerance for mistreatment expands. The bar for what she'll accept gets lower. They don't believe they deserve more. This is the core, the root beneath all the other reasons. She doesn't fight for more because deep down, she doesn't believe she deserves it. She looks at women who do ask for raises, who do set boundaries, who do walk away from bad situations, and thinks they're different. They're more confident, more worthy. But not her. She's not there yet. She hasn't earned it yet. She needs to work harder, be better, prove herself more. Except the goalpost keeps moving. There's always another milestone to hit before she's ready to advocate for herself. How to stop walking away with less. The first step is recognizing the pattern, seeing how conditioning shaped you, understanding why you've accepted less. The second step is making a different choice. Just once, ask for the raise, set the boundary, walk away from the relationship that's draining you. Speak up in the meeting. It will feel uncomfortable. Every instinct will tell you to back down. Women walk away with less than they deserve because they were taught to prioritize being liked over being respected, taught that self-sacrifice equals love, taught that negotiation is aggressive, taught that their worth is tied to their usefulness, taught to normalize disrespect, taught to doubt their worthiness. But you can unlearn all of it. You can choose differently. You can ask for more. You can set boundaries. You can walk away from situations that diminish you. It won't be comfortable. The people who benefited from you accepting less will resist. They'll call you difficult, demanding, selfish. Let them, because the alternative is spending your entire life making yourself smaller so others can be comfortable. And that's not compromise. That's erasure. You deserve more. Not because you've earned it, because you exist. Stop walking away with less. Start demanding everything you deserve.